Hey, 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 you beautiful twin flames, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. If I be really quiet, you can hear something in the background. Ready? I hope you can hear it. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? There it was. It's a bullfrog. It's a bullfrog, and it's in my water pipe somewhere. So, frogs are really, and there's a fly there as well. That's how you know you're in Australia. When you see flies and Care Bears and frogs, that's how you know you're in Australia. Um, so I have a really important message to give you today, and it's related to love. And I keep getting this message over and over and over again, so I wanted to share it with you. And it's actually a song, and of course I haven't warmed up yet, but I'm sure you'll forgive me if I don't do it justice. Um, okay, so it's from the movie Beaches. I don't know if you've ever watched that. It's a very, very sad movie. If you haven't watched it, don't watch it. It's very sad. If you're likely to, to latch onto it in an emotional way, don't watch it. It's a really sad movie. Um, there's one song there that really just keeps ringing in my head over and over again, and it's unusual because I haven't watched that film for many, many years. It'd be like probably 20 years since I've seen that film. Okay, and I think it's called Glory of Love. Okay, so I'll try and do it as much justice as I can. But the words are what's really important today, okay? You got to laugh a little, cry a little, and let the clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. As long as there's the two of us, we got each other's charms. Da 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 da. We got each other's arms. We gotta laugh a little, cry a little, and let those clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. So it's kind of talking about love as something that we feel, and when we relate ourselves to love, we can feel sad or happy about that. But at the end of the day, all that really matters is that you find companionship with your creator, whoever that is for you, and also in companionship with others, whether or not that's your twin flame, or other people that you resonate with. Okay? I like the bit where it says, as long as there's the two of us, we got each other's charms. Da 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 da. We got each other's arms. You gotta laugh a little, cry a little, and let those clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. The twin flame journey can really be a circus. We've got this energy here of, it can really be a circus. It can really be a nightmare, or it can be something really beautiful that you can cherish depending on your perception of it. And that's the message I want to get through to you today. depending on your perception of what's going on, you can thoroughly enjoy your twin flame journey, or you can become bitter and angry and pissed off about what's happening. So there's this kaleidoscope that's going on. And for many of you, especially the divine feminines, when you get in this bitter energy, I feel like you lose sight of what's really important. And what's really important here is your growth and your balance as a key to yourself. There's this other song I want to bring in now, which is from Karen Carpenter, and it's called Masquerade. And it might be a bit low for me because I don't think I've really ever, I may have sung it years and years ago. But so what I want to do is I want to bring this song in so that you can understand the feeling of some of the feminines right now, especially if you're a divine masculine watching. Okay, so this song goes like this. Are we really happy with this lonely game we play? Looking for the right words to say. Searching but not finding understanding anyway. We're lost in a masquerade. Both afraid to say we're just too far away from being close together from the start. We tried to talk it over, but the words got in the way. We're lost inside this lonely game we play. And then there's this really interesting bit where she says, thoughts of leaving disappear each time I see your eyes. And no matter how hard I try to understand the reasons why we carry on this way, we're lost in a masquerade. We're lost in a masquerade. So many divine feminines realizing that they've had a mask on this whole time, that they haven't shed their ego. And where there was bitterness before, many of you are realizing that you are just simply lucky to know your twin flame. You're simply lucky to have been able to grow from knowing your twin flame. Because a lot of growth happens in the separation phases. So let's tap now into the divine masculine. And one of my last readings was dealing with, the divine masculine being angry if the feminine was thinking about having a relationship with someone else, or the energies could have been flipped and it could have been, swap divine masculine and divine feminine. And a lot of you said to me, no, that's not me and that's not my story. And then a lot of you also wrote to me and said that that was your story. So there's been this recent transformation here. Hopefully there's enough light there. There's been this recent transformation in the divine masculine, and this recent transformation sees him wanting to move forward in the recent past. He may have moved forward in the recent past, or maybe not. That's probably better over that side. Many of them are thinking about making a move, even if they haven't done so already. And the Chariot brings this fire with it, this passion with it, this understanding that if I don't, if I don't make a move, I might never do it. So many of you would have seen motion from your divine masculines in the recent past. It may not have been massive, but it may have been enough to go, okay, we're seeing some movement. And this was all created from you having done a lot of the inner work and understanding that to get your masculine to come to you energetically, you've actually got to surrender yourself. So many of the masculines are either thinking of coming in or recently did come in to try and communicate with you after a paused time of thinking things through on their own. Some of you may have been in this journey for up to 8 years or more. Your divine masculine is starting to put the puzzle pieces together of, this feminine has shown me so much. This feminine has made me grow. This feminine has made me understand myself. And in many cases, how different you both are. There's been some real differences here. See the red flag in the background and then the white flag? It's kind of like, oh, I see all these red flags in the feminine. And then we get the truce. But I still want peace with her. Many of you have different thought processes than your counterparts. Many of you are literal opposites in so many ways. And many of you are not completely opposite, but see things in different lights. As an example, as a metaphor, if you were going to grow a garden, the divine masculine might say, well, I'm going to utilize the wall space so that I can keep my backyard, free for, I don't know, the flowers or something. And you might go, well, that's a silly thing to bring plants into the home. Why wouldn't you use your backyard and put the flowers inside? So there can always be this dissonance and resonance at the same time. It's like, you both want to grow a garden, but you go completely different ways about it. We have messages coming within the next, I want to say 8 days, 8 weeks or 8 months, depending on your situation. But the 888 is really standing out to me here. And it's this letting go of judgment on behalf of the masculine. The masculine may have put you in a box before, may have said, well, my counterpart or my friend or my twin flame or my crush or whoever, however they see you, they may go, well, maybe I was a little judgmental of them in the past and I'm trying to understand them better. I'm trying to gain the strength to understand them better because they're just different from me, but yet we feel so the same. So it's this similarity difference that has got the masculine intrigued. And without you, he feels really alone. Because there's this feeling of, you complete me. And without you, I don't know what to do. Even though we might see things in a different light, or we might argue. My throat chakra now. He's like, don't tell the feminine everything. So we have dogs barking too. And this is signaling companionship. Companionship from the masculine. He wants to be, at the very least, he wants to be your companion. He also may want to argue with you on certain points, depending on your situation. Some masculines feel as though, they may want to have a little argument with you. Perhaps you don't necessarily agree on everything. I feel like he wants to cut that tree down, and perhaps the feminine wants to say, no, 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 I love trees. How could you possibly do that? Or maybe maybe your masculine is vegan and you aren't, or maybe there's a cultural difference, or maybe there's some kind of thing that comes in the way. And sometimes he wants to say, like, where do you get your knowledge from? On one hand, it intrigues me, completely intrigues me. And then it's kind of like, I feel like you've just, I don't know, it's like you've just got it out of a game, like, is life a game to you? He's being a little bit serious, is life a game to you? Do you really believe in that? It's funny. In the recent past, he feels like the divine feminine was gossiping about him. Perhaps judging him, perhaps kind of going, not really sure if I like this or not. This is perhaps a red flag. So his red flag and her red flag, it's funny because they've both got the same thing. Hang on a minute, this isn't really what's going on, is it? Like, do they really believe in ... Do they really buy into that, fake news or, etc., etc.? It's like we have opposing forces here, and yet the love is so strong. He wishes you were there with him. Even though there may have been a disconnect here, he wishes, if you've recently seen him, he wishes that you could have stayed. He doesn't want you to just go again. That's his biggest fear, is that you'll leave. And what really needs to leave here is the ego. The ego on both sides needs to leave. And when it does, then we can have potential union. Potential union is available for many of you within the next 5 years. And the whole world situation has made it kind of crazy. But within the next 5 years, there are unions going to be happening with twin flames all around the world. Wow. Wow. I feel like he wants to sing these corny love songs. And, like I swear by the moon and the stars in the sky, I'll be there for better or worse, till death do us part. I love you with every beat of my heart, and I swear. Ooh. And then he hates you at the very same time. It's like, she drives me crazy. Remember that one? She drives me crazy like no one else. She drives me crazy, but I can't help myself. I can't help the way I feel. It was like the Fine Young Cannibals or something, I think that was. Do do do. Do 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 do. She drives me crazy. It was a really weird video clip, actually, when it first came out. It was this guy was jumping around. It was like, she drives me crazy. Boom 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 boom. And he's jumping, the guy. It was just weird. But anyway, there is this weird circus vibe to the twin flame journey right now. Yeah, King of Coins. In the recent past, I'm working on my job, my craft, whatever it is I need to make myself feel stable in the world. I'm trying to feel stable in this weird world. Oh, baby, baby, it's a wide world. He's just, it's like he wants to go within, and at the same time, he wants to ride off into the sunset with you in a gondola. Is that what that's called? It's like, on one hand, I need to work on my business, or I need to work on my job, or I need to study, or I need to do that thing. But I really just want to be with you because that's what he wants. You excite him. Your differences and your similarities excite him. And he knows that he could talk to you forever and ever and ever. You know, it might even be just this constant argument that goes on forever and ever. But that would be okay with him. But we have the Judgment card here, and it's all about you and him judging each other. You know, he didn't text me. She didn't understand my point of view of this thing. It's very tit for tat, very kind of high school, you know, kind of like that. And for those of you who are not resonating with that and you've got an awakened divine masculine, that won't be your story. But for those of you who are pissed off with your counterpart for whatever reason, you have to let go of the ego so you can see them in a different light. Wheel of Fortune. You see that bird looks really happy because the sun's shining and the sky is blue. Now, what if we made a rain cloud there? Would the bird still be happy? Probably, because the bird understands that we have to weather all sorts of storms. You know, as long as there's the two of us, we got each other's charms. And when the world is through with us, we got each other's arms. You've got to laugh a little, cry a little, and let the clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. We're still wondering why the eyebrows are so far away from the eyes. See that? We love it though, don't we? And look, you can even hang your Care Bear up on the door or somewhere, look, or on a hook. That's quite funny. And there's also a love heart on its bottom that says Care Bears. That's how you know it's a real Care Bear, because it's got a love heart on its bottom. So let's just see what he wants to say to you, because I feel like he's in a riddle. You know, it's like I love you and I hate to love you, and you're so annoying and yet you're so amazing all at the very same time. It's kind of like being addicted to that strange dessert that your auntie makes at Christmas time, and you kind of don't know why, because it's a mystery what's in it. And here you are, divine feminine, right? He feels that you are unique. He feels that you are so beautiful. He wants to have this journey with you. He doesn't know what it's going to bring, but we kind of get this uniqueness that is you. You know, no one else is the divine feminine, and that's what keeps him there. And he doesn't know that he's attracted to your soul. He doesn't know that that's what it is. She might hiss and spit at me at points in the journey, but he still knows. See the apples behind? He still knows that there's goodness in you. Even if you've had a little meltdown with him or something. And there's the castle. Wow. She's still my princess. She's still my girl. She's still my counterpart. She's still my happy ever after, even though she drives me batshit crazy. Or even though we're worlds apart. Because this can also mean worlds apart, you know. You're in a whole nother world to me. On a soul level, we're the same. We have the same soul. We might have different bodies, but we have the same soul. And this is a heart-to-heart, soul-to-soul connection. And the more you think about the twin flame journey, the more you'll go crazy. And that's the truth. Many of you are far away from your masculines. And many of you who aren't far away from your masculines might be have very different views or very different ways of thinking to your masculine. And that's kind of also what draws you in, is that you can learn so much from each other, and you can compare things with one another, and you can discuss things and listen to one another and learn things. It's a very beautiful, wonderful understanding that you can have. You know, we might be oceans apart. We might have this cultural difference. We might even have different languages, perhaps. We might have different skin colors. We might be of different genders, right? Whatever the duality is, that's actually the pull that makes you understand one another. And when you go through the world and you see all different types of people, you can actually be grateful for all the different types of people that there are in the world, because we are all different. Okay? We are all, you know, none of us look exactly the same. None of us have the same way of doing things or way of being, and that's what makes the world so beautiful. You know, me and Care Bear are very different, but we have a heart-to-heart connection because we both see the world in a glass half full kind of way. And we choose to see it that way. You know, it is a choice to see the world in a beautiful light. You make a choice every day to get up in the morning and do the things that you do as well. All right. So I want to leave it there. I just want to give you one last message for the masculine and tell you that he really wants to either apologize or come forward and speak to you and tell you how he feels. And you may not realize that he wants to do that, especially if he's not showing up in the 3D. Whew. Beautiful though. He's seeing the potential of the connection in the future. So what I want you to do as a twin flame is to follow your joy every single day and know that you are lucky, and know that you have things to be grateful for, and that you are blessed on this journey. I want to thank all of my long-term clients who watch my channel and my subscribers. And I also want to say thank you if you send me a donation. A lot of my donations go to charity to help people who are less fortunate than we are. And also at this time, I'm giving 10% off of all of my services, and you can get a free negative energy removal for you and your counterpart, or you and someone you love, if you book a reading between now and Christmas time. So I'm wishing you all a very beautiful day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. And Care Bear wants to give you a big kiss before we go. Mwah. Mwah. Ooh, 3 kisses. Mwah. 3 kisses. Stay safe, everyone, and remember to stay in your joy no matter what's showing up in front of you in the 3D world. Much of it is an illusion. Try and stay in your heart space. Stay in your joy. And if you need me, reach out to me. My details are in the description box below. Bye, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.